I'm so glad you're here. This is a replay of a live training I did inside the OTs for Pelvic Health Facebook group with Lindsey Vestal, and I wanted to make sure that everyone gets access to it. Pelvic health is such an incredibly fulfilling specialty, and it's growing so much. I've been training OT since 2018, and my goal is to have over 10,000 OTs trained by the year 2030. I'm so glad you're here learning about this specialty. I hope that you can join us in the OTs for Pelvic Health Facebook group with me, Lindsey Vestal. I will link to the group below in the show notes and description. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Welcome to OT Empower Hour. Oh my gosh, we've had so many exciting, fantastic things happening in the world of pelvic health. I just have to do a quick shout out at the invigorating conversation that was released yesterday between myself and our AOTA president, Allison Stover, where she comes out and shares her top 6 priorities for her term as president. Includes amazing things like mental health, like entrepreneurship. Of course, the one that I jumped out of my seat about had to do with women's health, with the specific call out to pelvic health. I am telling you, this is outstanding. This is outstanding. I was just reminiscing with a friend yesterday that, what is it, about 8 months ago, my initial proposal for the AOTA Inspire Conference 2023 was actually rejected. And to go full circle to the point where now I had the privilege and honor of having our president on our podcast to be able to share and announce how AOTA is now truly recognizing our unique role is just outstanding. And I'm so invigorated about our future and about my participation with the AOTA, because I really feel seen and heard for the first time. I know great things are coming for our community and for our profession. I'm going to throw a link to the conversation, both the podcast and the video, in the comments. The video, I have to be really honest with you and let you know that there were some moments that I cried. Allison has to be one of the most vulnerable and humanizing leaders that I have ever met. She shares some incredible stories, not only about her father, but also her role as a clinician. She has a private practice in Pennsylvania. And oh my gosh, it really was an incredible demonstration of the vulnerability that really it takes to be a courageous leader. So a special shout out to Allison for helping us be seen for potentially the first time. I'm thrilled. I am so thrilled. I also want to share that she is going to be coming to our summit. So Allison believes in pelvic health so strongly that she's actually attending our summit on August 19th and 20th. So please, this is an opportunity to let your voice be heard. This is an opportunity to share with her where you think pelvic health should be going. It's going to be a very intimate event, solely focused on pelvic health. So please pick up your tickets before June 15th. That's when prices go up. It's going to be an incredible event. Tiffany Lee is joining us, and she says the video and podcast was fantastic. Tiffany Lee is one of our speakers at the event. So if you haven't met her before, which I would be surprised, she is probably a mentor of so many of us in this group. Please come and meet us all. We're so excited about that. The other announcement I want to make before I introduce my incredible guest and our incredible topic today is this is actually our official last OT Empower Hour until August. So I am going to be traveling with my family this summer, and so I'm going to be stepping away from doing lives, but I have compiled sort of like our top hits, some of our best OT Empower Hours, and I put them into what I'm calling my summer short series. So basically, every Thursday at the same time, you're going to see a video come out. It won't be live, and it's a 10-minute distillation of the topic and the information that was covered in that topic. So you can get like a snack, a little 10-minute bite-sized version of the OT Empower Hour. And of course, you always have the option to go and watch the full OT Empower Hour. But I'm excited to see you guys live in August, not only for OT Empower Hour, but also, of course, for our in-person summit. So without further ado, I want to welcome my incredible guest, whose name is Margaret Anderson. We're going to be talking about pelvic floor therapy tools for diverse bodies and abilities. Margaret, before I read your bio, I just want to stop and say thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
This is going to be an awesome conversation. So Margaret is a disabled designer. She is a tech journalist, and she is a co-founder of TouchBot, which is an accessible sexual wellness brand specializing in 3D printed pelvic floor therapy tools for diverse bodies and abilities. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is revolutionary. I cannot wait to get to this conversation. So TouchBot has this incredible mission to basically utilize emerging technology like 3D printing, which we're going to talk about, to create products that enable greater body autonomy, that invite users to think expansively about sexual wellness and accessibility. So Margaret, I'm going to just kick off our conversation today. So TouchBot itself developed a product called Lattice, which I actually have here in my hand. I can't wait to talk about it more. Talk to us a little bit about it. So this is an adaptable reach extension system compatible with pelvic floor therapy tools. How did you get inspired for creating these tools?
Absolutely. I mean, this was really an idea born out of necessity. I personally needed an extension handle when I used dilators for the pelvic pain I was having a few years ago. I have complex disabilities. I'm a wheelchair user. I use a ventilator to support my breathing. So my disability really limits my strength and range of motion in my arms. And it just made inserting dilators independently impossible. And that was just so frustrating that it was just it's like another access barrier that disabled people have to navigate. And so there was nothing on the market that I could find that would give me the leverage or the length that I needed. So I decided to just DIY a version. And I literally went to Home Depot and bought some PVC pipes and a hose clamp and just sort of MacGyvered this rudimentary handle that actually worked. And that was kind of the light bulb moment for me, like realizing there's probably a lot of people that have these issues that need more angle adjustability than what's currently offered. So I worked with my partner, Alex. We spent like 2 years developing this. It's now patent pending. And because our handles were 3D printed, they're super lightweight, they're modular. It lets people mix and match different lengths. And it's also compatible with, toys if you want to use toys. We make our own dilators, and they're also compatible with sole source. Yeah.
Yeah, this is groundbreaking. I mean, I just first want to applaud the fact that, you took your own healthcare so seriously that you actually went to Home Depot, walked up and down the aisles and was like, I'm going to solve this problem. I mean, I just, that entrepreneurship and that creativity and really that commitment to your own health and wellness is incredible. And not only that, you were able to take it to that next level and now create an entire line that people of all abilities are going to be able to use. And you're right, we're removing that stigma, right? There's so much complicated conversation around the fact that these are things we just don't talk about. Already pelvic health is a conversation we don't have enough. And then we don't talk enough about accessibility for all bodies. So I just really want to thank you for the initiative that you've taken. And this is groundbreaking. I mean, this is really going to revolutionize healthcare and sexuality for all bodies.
Yeah, that's we're hoping so. I can show a short little demo video if you want.
Please.
Kind of an animation. Let me
I
just
love
pull
that.
this up. Share sound, share screen. It's real short. And I think,
Awesome.
in terms of the branding and just sort of the feeling that we want people to associate with it, we don't want it to feel like a purely utilitarian, medicalized product. This is something that a lot of disabled people often complain about, that things that are made for us just feel very clinical when, even if it's being used in a clinical setting, you want it to feel bespoke and special and, you know, make you feel good about using it. So
Yeah.
that was why, yeah, that's the vibe we're going for.
That's a beautiful vision for this. So it's not only yeah, and it should have that, right? It's got that utilitarian value, but it also is, we're working with a very intimate part of the body. And I think that's a really sensitive and important consideration. So I do happen to have the two device. I have two versions of the device here, right? So this one is demonstrating it with, this is actually Intimate Rose, but it works with Soul Source. And then this is the version with the extender handle that actually
Mhm.
is your dilator, right? This is your
Yes,
product.
that's correct.
And
And
what
I
I
can
love,
show,
yeah,
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, you go ahead.
I was just
Go
going
ahead.
to say that I'm not gonna muck around with it now while we're talking, but I love. I've been playing around with this since I've gotten this, and it's just
Mhm.
so incredibly easy to adjust. And there's so many the variety of angles that are available for people with all abilities is just like it's,
Yeah,
oh, Margaret, it's just phenomenal.
yeah, I can show another quick video of how it attaches to the Soul Source brand.
Sure.
It's just quick. I'll just pull that up. When we were beta testing with PT locally here in LA, that was something that she suggested we do. We were originally just going to use our own dilators, and she said, a lot of women,
Yeah.
they've already spent the money on these other dilators, would
Mhm.
have something that can integrate with other brands, would make it more accessible as well. So I'll just pull this up.
Awesome. Awesome. That demonstrates it so much better than I could have. And I don't have those cool gloves.
Exactly. Yeah, let's make pelvic floor therapy fun, right?
Absolutely. I'm all about that. So, Margaret, I know you guys are still in the patent pending phase, but just in terms of thinking about like the ideal client to use Lattice. So
Sure.
the company is TouchBot, but these particular products that we're talking about is called the Lattice. So yeah, who is the ideal audience for this?
Right. So Lattice was designed through a process that centered the needs of people with disabilities, specifically those with reach limitations in their arms. But through our beta testing program, we actually found a much wider range of people will benefit from it than we initially even imagined. So people with arthritis or low hand strength really
Yeah.
appreciate how easy it is to connect the handle segments. You don't need a lot of dexterity to turn the knob the way it was designed. Folks with larger bodies also really benefit from the different length options
Mhm.
and the angle adjustability. We've had users with limited flexibility from spinal fusions or chronic back pain. They've really benefited as well. Even, sexual trauma survivors who've really struggled with pelvic floor PT use it and feel just extremely empowered by the bodily autonomy that
Mhm.
it provides.
Mhm.
And that's been really incredibly rewarding to know that this product is helping people to feel in control of their health and their body during a process that's like it's so personal and sometimes scary.
Absolutely, absolutely it is. And I can really tell from your this is really inspired by a personal place for you. You kind of you've been through pelvic floor physical therapy, and so you
Mhm.
had those experiences where you had your own struggles, and recognize that it's such an incredibly intimate relationship. So I can really feel that in your considerations here. So if anyone has any questions, I invite you to put them into the comments. I have one last question before we end our time together today, Margaret, and that is, what can you share with us about the 3D printing aspect of this?
Definitely. So 3D printing is this rapidly growing industry, and it's revolutionizing the way products are designed, prototyped, manufactured. It's being implemented in different areas of healthcare, even like automotive is using it.
Oh,
So
wow.
we utilized a process called algorithmic design to generate the sort of intricate design in the handle. And it's actually based on structures that you would find in nature, like honeycomb patterns
Uh-huh.
from bees. And these sort of structures allow it to be incredibly light, reduces overall materials and cost, and it just wouldn't be achievable if it wasn't 3D printed. It's just too
Mhm.
expensive to do it in conventional ways. Most sexual wellness products are still being produced with traditional manufacturing, and that makes it really difficult to customize
Yeah.
things. And it also makes it hard for small businesses to do sort of made to order parts
Yeah.
for people because it's just so expensive. So by 3D printing our handles on demand and in-house, we avoid these sort of high minimum orders, and just it makes us more flexible to meet the needs of individuals. And um, we're really excited to be able to
Yeah.
use this new tech.
Absolutely. It sounds like it's a win-win for everybody, not only for the clients, but for the small business owner. It's like when you learn about this, it's like, why aren't we doing this more? Why aren't we utilizing this in all the cases that we can? Because it's almost like
Exactly.
made to order, and it's also environment in that way it's much more environmentally friendly, right? We're not just printing or creating a backlog of products that don't end up being used or sold. So
Exactly. There's a lot less waste, there's a much smaller footprint. So overall, it's just incredibly efficient, and I think it's only a matter of time before this becomes an industry standard.
absolutely. Absolutely. Margaret, I want to thank you so much for your time today, your innovation, your vision, and just kind of what you're doing to revolutionize pelvic floor therapy and sexual wellness for all abilities and all bodies. It was such a
Thank you.
pleasure to have you on today.
Thank you so much for having me.